And we are live. About 3 minutes early, but let's go over to live scene. Just adjust my chair. And good evening to you. Good evening, good evening. Yes, it is I'm back. And yeah. So, what can I say? What can I say, really? Let me just readjust that. Tell me if you can hear that, if that's too loud, the background music and all that. So, yeah, this evening I'm live for a couple of hours. I'm not gonna go on for too long because I've got to be up in the early tomorrow. But I thought tonight, whilst I sit and talk, I might build my Astra Militarum Attilan Rough Riders. So I might sit and build. I've got a few snacks. I've got a drink. I've got some Pringles. Not sponsored. I wish I was. Anyway, do drop in. Do say hello. Anything that takes your fancy, really. This is to celebrate my 40th birthday. I did turn 40 yesterday, and I am going to open the Pringles. I've got some mini cakes as well. So I am going to... what flavour did I get? Sour cream and onion. Oh, delicious. One of my favourite flavours. I'm also going to open the cola. This is a supermarket brand, of course. I've got my microphone just over the top, so you might be able to hear me pouring it. There we go. So yeah, 40 years ago yesterday, July the 11th, 1984, I was born. The funny thing is, I don't feel 40. I do not feel like I'm 40 years old. It's incredible. I've got to that point in my life where I feel nostalgic. I have nostalgia. I've got all my sort of books and things that bring me nostalgia from my youth. All the memories of what I grew up with and all the fun things that I used to enjoy and still do, really. But long story short, 4 decades is a long time. Your childhood goes by so quickly. Make the most of it of what you can. But as I say, Trevor, hello. Skull. This is cola, by the way, not the good stuff. I might have a bit of the good stuff over the weekend, but I've got to be up early tomorrow. I'm off to a historical house. My choice. Well, it's a historical house, but it's more like a art gallery. And I remember it. I went to it as a kid. It's called Petworth in West Sussex, and I loved it. It is like an art gallery more than it is a house. It is stuffed full of art. Today's hello, Skull. That might be my new live stream thing. Anyway, so 40 years is a long time, believe me. As I said at the beginning, I do not feel 40. I do not feel 40 at all. How old do I feel, if you were to ask me? I couldn't say, really. I don't feel older, but I feel like I've had experience. I really do feel like I've had experience. Let me know if the background music is too much or too little. No, it's cola. It's cola. I've got to be up early in the morning, so I don't want to... But I will probably have something of the good stuff over the weekend. I've got some bottles of gin, miniature bottles of gin, and I've got a miniature bottle of rum that I'll probably have. I might drink that during the England game. I bet I'm going to need it. Bit of the old Dutch... Sorry, any Dutch people, I apologise, because obviously England got into. I'm not going to talk about the football. I am not going to discuss the football. This live stream, I know it's going to sound bad, but this is about me because it was my birthday yesterday. It was my 40th birthday, you know. And a lot of people do say, you know, a lot of people do say that I don't look 40, and I don't. I don't feel 40 either. You know, I mean, life just has that way. I call them crisps, chips, whatever. They are sour cream and onion. I'm just checking that I've got it on the sour cream and onion Pringles or Pringles. Well, I actually got. To be honest, I actually asked for vouchers this year. A lot of the stuff I normally get are for me. You know, I normally get a lot of stuff for myself. Anyway, you know, I actually said to my parents, what do you get the bloke who has everything? Not that I have everything, mind you, but you know, you sort of think to yourself, what do I ask for? What I mean, I've got a razor, I've got a trimmer, I've got all the gizmos and gadgets I could ever want. So I thought, if I ask for Amazon vouchers, if I spot something on Amazon. My sister did get me a Lego voucher. There's a few Lego sets that I'm looking for to adorn my bookshelves behind me to join the other. Sorry if I keep looking away from the camera. I'm either looking at my screen this side. I've got a screen this side where the where my OBS Streamlabs is working, or I'm checking the screen in front of me to, you know, check for comments and everything, so bear with. Anyway, so yeah, I got Amazon vouchers mainly. You know, I don't know what I'll get. If I see something, I will get it. You know, I think I really have to be certain about what I want to get before I get it. Obviously I've got my video camera, I've got my microphone, you know, I've got my mobile phone. I have my Lego minifigure collection. I must have about 400 minifigures now in my collection. Not all on display, mind you. I haven't got the space to display them all, but you know, it's another thing of nostalgia. I've got very nostalgic as I've matured. Have I matured? Who knows? I'm still a kid at heart. I'm still a big kid at heart. Anyone who knows me really, really well will tell you I am a big kid. You know, and even this playlist, coming from Epidemic Sound, which is what I use for all my music now, for my videos and my channel. I have an annual subscription so that I can have this music playing for free, and it's all by independent artists. It's all by, you know, people just make this music, upload it themselves. It's really fantastic, and because I've got it linked to my channel, I can have it playing through the website as I'm live streaming. So oh, any Lego set in particular? Again, I'm kind of, I mean, I've got the just making sure I can see it on my screen, because my screen on my left hand side is live, whereas there's a time delay on my. So the screen this side is live, but the screen in front of me is on a time delay. So this one here, I've obviously got a Darth Vader head here. That's my Darth Vader. I've got Iron Man. If I move my head, Iron Man just there. One of the Infinity Gauntlet things there, the Nano Gauntlet, and then a few large. See, this is the thing. I might even have to think about getting a third screen because I can't, So that's something I might look at on Amazon. But there's a lot of things happening now. They do, there's a lot of things now where you can get display pieces and things like that. I would love the Titanic, but at the price it is, and the fact that I don't have space for it. I'd love to get the Millennium Falcon, but that's about £700, and the only place I could really put it is on top of the dining table, and I don't think my mum would be too pleased with me if I took over the dining table with the Millennium Falcon. Excuse me, I'm going to have a chocolate brownie. Oh, it is. It is a big. For a moment, I thought you were talking about the chocolate brownie, but then I just realised you were talking about the Lego Titanic. So that one's on me. Yeah, considering that it's got over 9,000 pieces, and it's £590. So I won't be getting Titanic anytime soon. Not at nearly £600. I may have to win the lottery and get a bigger house, which would be nice. But there we go. Chocolatey. I do like a brownie mini bite. If you're British and you're near a Waitrose, I recommend these. This is what I'm eating. This is the other thing I'm snacking on tonight. Rich chocolatey brownie mini bites. Again, not sponsored, but this is not, obviously this channel isn't sponsored or monetized, so by the by, who knows what the future holds. Exciting times ahead. Turning 40, that's another thing. That is another thing about this. The world's my oyster. They say life begins at 40, and I will say this, I am really excited for whatever the future holds. Whatever is around the corner, I'm just going to grab, I'm going to use the overused term, I'm going to grab that bull by the horn and I'm going to rodeo it out of the rodeo pen or whatever they call it, I'm buzzing. I haven't felt this buzzed since, I can't remember, to be honest with you. You have a milestone birthday and all of a sudden your mind just goes, it suddenly just, it's like a boom, an explosion of ideas and enthusiasm and life itself, it really does, oh yeah. Here's to the future. Here's to the future. That one day I might hit that $1 million or £1 million idea, and everything will just fall into place. You know, it'll be everything I've dreamed of. You know, so what if the last few years have been, you know, creatively for me a bit meh? I mean, I've had some amazing times. I have done so much. I have created so much. You know, the world is my oyster now. The world is my absolute oyster. And I've still got loads of ideas to work with. I've still got all my characters to work with. You know, why not take them on new adventures? Why not give them new... Now I'm on my new chapter of my life. Why not give them a new chapter as well? You know, take them to new horizons. You know, try different platforms. Try different genres and styles. You know, don't just look at video and audio. I will say I am still finishing off this story that you've probably seen me talk about on social media, but you know, that's by the by. Contact me separately if you want to know more about that. You will see a few posts on Twitter, Instagram and on here, but that's not what this is about tonight at all. But that's the thing, you know, finish what I've started, because I would love to finish what I've started and get as many people involved as possible. But take it to a clean slate. You know, don't get rid of anything I've done, because that is so important to the backstory, to everything. But create a whole new identity for it. Don't let it just fall by the wayside. And that's what I'd say to anyone. Do not let it fall by the wayside. If you've got something that you really believe in, you really have faith in, don't wait. Don't let it slip away. Keep hold of it tightly. And, you know, I've only been 40 for a day, you know, but already I'm beginning to feel a whole different level of, you know, I mean, it might change. I mean, there will be rough days, there will be good days, but all in all, I'm ready to face them. I'm ready to face them like, you know, how shall I put it? Like the greyhound in the slip, you know. I'm trying to think of the... I know, exactly. You know, all this artwork, all this... I'm looking at doing a behind the scenes book, you know, a world story, as it were. You know, talking about the cities, talking about the continents, talking about the history, using what I've collated and putting it into something tangible. Something that if people want, they can even hold it in their hand and they can flick through and they can see the faces of characters, they can see what the cities look like, maps, diagrams, you name it, you think of it, I can create it. Now, I know not everyone agrees with AI art, but for someone like me, who obviously can't afford real artists, who is unable to, you know, has no art skill of their own. The thing is, I look at it like this. As a storyteller, sometimes it helps to actually be able to see your world, and I really do believe that, you know, if you can put your world into reality through words, which is how AI works for those who are unaware. AI. Anyway, bye. By being able to create images from your words, rather than a paintbrush or a mouse or anything like that, you're still creating art. I totally get that not everyone agrees with it, and I totally understand that. But for someone like me, it has opened doors. And in all these years I have been a content creator, I have never imagined I would be able to visualise my world that easily. And the thing is, it is so important to be able to visualise what you're creating, because it gives you a reference point. You actually know what you're looking at. And yeah. So in a way, I guess this isn't just me talking about being 40. It's about my life experience. It's about what I think. Sorry, I've got an itchy beard. I'm still childish. Yeah. So do what you can. Do what you can do. Gonna have another. Don't worry, this isn't going to turn into a mukbang. I don't do mukbang. I can't speak. Ooh, yeah. I should have done those exercises before I joined. I'm going to have another Pringle. Where was I before I disturbed myself? And enjoy the cheesiness of crisp. Well, no, it's not cheese, is it? It's sour cream and onion. Is the music too loud? I can lower it if it's too loud. Hope it's not distracting. I've taken it down a little bit. So, things are really looking up at the moment. It's bizarre. It is bizarre, and you can tell I haven't done one of these in a long time because I'm faltering my words and losing the ability to speak. But that's also probably because when I'm in front of my camera or my microphone, I usually work from a script, as you know. So when it's totally unscripted and totally unpredictable, I'm just me. Just pure me. Cheers. And I hope I make you all hungry. Sorry. Oh dear. I beg your pardon. Oh dear. Oh, blimey, oh. Oh. Whew. I think I'll have a little top up. Indeed, indeed. If you look at a number of my live streams from the past, you will. Hello, Luminous. Thank you for joining. Very nice to have you here. I am notorious for breaking into laughter. I get the giggles very easily. I mean, sometimes it can go. The longest I think I've laughed for on a live stream, and if Amanda were here, she'd tell you, I think it's about 15 minutes. That was the longest I ever laughed on a live stream. And some people have compared, if you've ever seen Wacky Races or Catch the Pigeon with where the villains are Dick Dastardly and his green dog Muttley, a lot of people say I laugh like Muttley, which is true, I guess, because I do sound like that. But I do have some of that audio actually, because I cut and paste. I'm losing the ability to speak, which isn't very good when you're an amateur voice actor. You need to, you need to have the ability to speak. You have to enunciate. You have to throw your voice into. Well, I haven't done a voice like that for my work. Mind you, talking like that, I think would excuse me. Oh. That was very weird. Something flew up, hit me in the arm, and then I can't see what it was. Go figure. Anyway. So yeah, I just want to say to everyone watching who sent me a message yesterday, I should have said this at the beginning, but to everyone who sent me a lovely message yesterday wishing me happy birthday for my 40th, thank you very much. I appreciate you all. Your support, your ongoing support and friendship is very important to me. I genuinely mean that. I do, because I have made. My channel turned 4 years old back in June 24th. My channel was 4, and in the 4 years I've had this channel, it's gone under a couple of other names, but I have made so many amazing friends on my journey, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I really honestly mean that. I will always remember the day I said to someone that I was thinking of even creating a YouTube channel, and this was way before 2020, And the person I was telling actually said to me, "You'll be lucky if you ever even get one person because you're such a boring person." And I think I've proven them wrong. You know, I've got some very supportive subscribers, and I thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. You know, and it really does mean a lot to me that I've had people help me out through the years of my channel and my content and my storytelling, and you know, people who have really, really given me guidance and support and advice. You know, it really genuinely means a lot to me. He says, getting a few more Pringles. No, in all seriousness, you know, I could keep saying it for eternity, to be honest with you, and it still wouldn't change, because I don't know, I wouldn't be here without you lot. I really wouldn't be here without you lot. It does make a big difference to have such an amazing support network across all my platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on most social media platforms, and to have so many amazing people across the board really does mean so much to me. Sorry, I'm going to have another one. It kind of does feel a bit difficult to try and be sincere when you're eating a Pringle. And, you know, I really hope it does come across that I am being sincere and truthful, because I don't say this lightly, because, and yes, I have a habit of repeating myself, because sometimes I don't know how else to say it. I just don't know how to. Oh, everything will be reinvested, everything will be celebrated, everything will be shared. You know, it won't just be me, it will be you as well. You know, it won't just be me, it will be you. And that's how I've always wanted it to be. I've always wanted it to be about, you know, me and you. I will not forget. Let's put it this way. I will not forget. Let's face it, I've never really had, you know, there's always been obstacles in my path. But we all have obstacles. That's the thing. We all have our own obstacles in life. And I've accepted it. I have accepted it. And I want to thank those who have helped me understand the obstacles and look at them from a different viewpoint, you know, to try and maybe not get round them, but work with them to use them to my advantage. And I think, yeah, in a way, to use the talents that I have to try and work with other ideas, you know, other formats. And I mean, I've never told anyone this. Well, I might have told at least one person, but I would love I would absolutely love to try my hand at a graphic novel. I really would. Or a comic book, something like that, to bring my world to life in another format. And I honestly think with a bit of creative flair and a bit of storytelling, I think, and with the right help, I think I could achieve that dream. I really honestly believe I could achieve that dream. And I know the right person is out there, giving, out there to support, and I thank them for it. I honestly do. Everything is still very early days, though. There are still things I'm thinking about and working on behind the scenes, and adapting and changing, and yeah, exactly. There's so much. It's this whole thing is so much more than a game, so much more than a game in life, and I think with the right person or the right people beside me, working in unison, we can achieve anything. We can achieve anything, and that's the thing. I have always wanted to share my work. I've always wanted to share my story. It's never been about me. It's never been about me. It's about the wider creative endeavours. Yes, I bring the characters. Yes, I bring the backstory. Yes, I bring the world. But there's talent out there that I really do feel deserves to be experienced, deserves to be known, deserves to share in whatever success is around the corner. So many deserve so much, and I really mean that. I really do mean that. I'm just going to have another. Seriously, it is difficult to try and sound sincere whilst you're eating a Pringle. But the thing is, my world is so big now, I can't do it on my own. I can't bring it to life on my own. And I don't feel like I should. I don't feel like it should just be me. I honestly feel it deserves to evolve with help. New people bringing in their perspective, their ideas, their visions. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have another Pringle. It would have been if it were, but no. Nice guess, but still, life goes on, and so with the amount of content, behind the scenes content I've got, world's my oyster. Everything's my oyster as far as I'm concerned now. I could be a bit more picky. I guess I can be a bit more picky and choosy about what I do and create, and I can focus on ideas and projects. Thank you, Luminous. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Trevor. Yeah, I kind of, I've always wanted to work. When I was a teenager, I dreamed of having a story made, a film made, and the story told. And I took it to my youth group. We only ever got one scene rehearsed. We never filmed it. And the script, I still have a copy of the script on my computer. My script writing skills have come on leaps and bounds since I was about 14. My original script was absolutely dire. I mean, I will admit that myself. The writing was abysmal. I think about it to this day. It was a sci-fi script called The Last Civilization, and it was funnily enough, it actually evolved into something I did very early on this channel, the sci-fi story that I started and never finished, because I find sci-fi very difficult to write, because with this is the reason I went over to writing fantasy fiction rather than sci-fi fiction. That's a bit redundant because sci-fi fiction is science fiction, so that's redundant. Anyway, I threw myself then. But anyway, I went from sci-fi to fantasy because fantasy is so much easier to write in that the rules are much less rigid. With fantasy, anything goes. With sci-fi, you have to stick to certain rules. And that was the problem. Anyone who knows me as a content creator, a writer, a storyteller, anyone who knows me will tell you my imagination is a complete melting pot of ideas. And if I'd continued with science fiction, I'd have not... Strike that, reverse it. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. Anyway. There we go. Yes, that's it. You know, I was finding with sci-fi that it's very restrictive unless you've got a specific linear idea, and I kind of did, but I wanted to branch it out, and with sci-fi you can't really do that. You have to try and stick to certain rules and tropes, you know, cliches, if you will. So I'm still eating chocolate brownies. You know, and to be honest, I personally found that very difficult to adhere to. I wanted to expand my horizons. I wanted to create something that had no holds barred. You know, you could... anything goes. You could create anything and from it go anywhere. And that's kind of where Lord of War and Heartache came from. You know, it started out just as a single piece, And now it's evolved into sort of, I mean, I've now got a majority of about 267 videos. Now, granted, that's not all the fantasy series, but the majority of those are. And it just goes to show how big the story has become, how far it's gone. And granted, yes, I am looking at new ideas and new ways of presenting it and sharing it. But no matter how I take it, which direction I take it in, creatively, it will always be my story, and it will always be my world. And I honestly feel that the one character keeping it all together, and whether or not people agree with me or not, because it used to be about the viewer, the listener, who played the diplomat in the beginning, and then something happened and it all went a bit pear-shaped, and I had to readjust and readapt and rewrite. And now the story itself has kind of centred around Maximus, who I have to admit has become my favourite character. He is my favourite character to perform, because he is a villain. He is calculating, he's the complete opposite of me in every way. But if you ask a lot of actors, and I've seen it in interviews, a lot of actors say playing the villain is more fun than playing the hero. And I can't agree more. Maximus, although he is villainous, he's criminally minded, he's dangerous, he's vicious, he's a vampire as well. It really does give me something to, ironically, sink my teeth into. He's such a rounded character, and the artwork for him is me in my steampunk cosplay. So, I have literally made him a pastiche of me, not quite a parody, but a pastiche, I believe the word is. But he has a Bristolian accent, a very deep Bristolian accent, which I can't actually lower my voice to the depth that he has when you hear him on screen. I actually have to. I can do the accent, but I have to lower the pitch through audio manipulation software. I use Audacity. So I take it from this tone down to a minus 20. And he, as I said, him and all the other villains are a joy. In fact, I don't think really I've voiced anyone that can be considered, well, maybe Trajan definitely. He is definitely one of the good guys. I always think of Geoffrey of Trigon and Garen of Trigon as being neutral. So, do they count? I don't know. Maybe they do. But, Maximus, his father, and several of the other vampires, even Rafik, even he's a joy, because he has such a smooth, sort of he's softly spoken. Again, complete opposite of me. Most of my characters are the complete opposite of me in more ways than one. But it's just so fun to take on these roles and voice them, bring them to life. And that's what I'd like That's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to sort of breathe life into my imagination and have other people help me out as well. You know, have others breathe life into my world and my imagination. He does have yeah, I'm actually beginning to think of Maximus more as an anti-hero. I do think of him, I am beginning to think of him more as an anti-hero. He does have morals. For example, when he meets with, for example, Cleo, he torments her. He enjoys tormenting her. He enjoys causing her... Oh, Luminous. He is nowhere near maximum power yet. He will get there. That's all part of the story. Oh, you have not heard the best yet. The best is yet to come. There's so much I want to do with the character that he is only at the very start of his journey. You know, he's been around for a long time in the story. He's been around for quite a few years now, but he has only kind of just recently become central to the... he has kind of only just become central to the whole narrative. And we are going to have so much fun on that journey. Believe me, we are going to have so much fun discovering more about Maximus and what he is capable of. Because, believe me, Luminous, you're not the first person to say that, and I'm glad you're the second. And I'm glad you said that as well, because this is it. This is what it's all about, you know. Hyping up the character, hyping up the world, bringing life to the ones that people... I'm not a villain. Anyone who knows me will tell you I'm not a villain. But the characters, I love portraying villains in my story because there's just so much you can do with them. You can really breathe life into them and give them so much deep character. Sorry, when I get very passionate about what I'm saying, I use my hands a lot because it just feels so... you feel pumped when you talk about it. You feel like you want to take on the world and, you know, yes, sort of thing. It just feels... Yeah, absolutely, you know, and yet in real life, all my friends will tell you that I am there for anyone who needs someone to talk to. I mean, you know, my social media, I always keep my messages open as a haven for anyone who wants to talk, you know, and if anyone does ever feel the need to talk, you can contact me on Twitter. I don't use its current name. I refuse to use its current name. It'll always be Twitter to me. And you can also contact me on Instagram, and my Twitter and Instagram handles are Ondarian Citizen. It's exactly the same as here, so, you know, you can find me there, and if you ever need to talk, I'm here, you know. I'm here to talk with you. So, you know, don't be a stranger, please. So I'm just going to grab a few more of these because might have to take a comfort break in a minute. Mm. Mm. I'm going to take a quick comfort break. I just need to take 5 minutes. So I will be back very shortly. Oh, well, it took me 2 years to reach 500 subscribers. My channel's 4 years old. And, you know, I am grateful to all 834 of my subscribers. I really am. It really does mean a lot to have the support of everyone who follows me. I kind of had the idea that I dreamt that I would reach at least 1,000 subscribers by yesterday. But life doesn't work like that. Work hard, be creative, do what you enjoy. Well, it is. I certainly have no complaints because it's not. You know, it's the journey, and I've learned a lot from so many amazing people who've worked hard and really supported me throughout, and I'm grateful to each and every one of them. I really am. I'm going to take a quick break. I will be back in a few minutes. I will leave the music playing so that you know I'm not going anywhere. And I will be back in a minute or two. So just taking a quick break. And we're back. That was a bit quicker. Thank you, Brian. Thank you indeed. Nice to see you. Thank you for being. Whew. Oh. yeah, I do feel it is strange. I do feel very different. You know, I don't really know how I feel, to be honest. It just it feels strange, but in a good way. Just sort of, I'm focusing on me at the moment, shall we say? You know what? Sorry, we ran up the stairs. I shouldn't have run up the stairs. Thank goodness for background music. I'm going to lower that down a bit. There we go. There we go. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, sort of about creativity and you know, as yeah, it is a beginning from an end, really. You know, I look at it that I think new doors are opening. It's a new chapter. It's a new door. It's a new path. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. Blah 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 blah. I'm not going into the song because you don't want to hear me sing on a Friday night. So anyway, there's a lot. There's a lot that this new era is going to bring for me, and I feel it. I really, honestly feel it. And I'm only a day into it. You know, I'm only a day into being 40, but already I've received so many messages about what it's like to be in this decade, and I've seen it. You know, I've seen what people have achieved in this decade, so here's to the next 10 years. Taking me back to my youth. This music. I mean, that's the thing. As I said earlier, I'm getting really nostalgic. I'm getting really nostalgic for the music of the 90s, late 80s, 90s, and I kind of. There was a lot of music I missed out on. And I'm kind of getting back into it, you know, through music channels on TV and YouTube, things like that. And yeah, it's interesting what I missed out on. Those of you who know me really well know that my teenage years were tinged with turmoil, shall we say, and not my fault. But I kind of lost out on those years, and you know, yeah. So I'm sort of reliving things that I lost through other means, which I'll turn up my microphone a little bit more. See if you can hear the So anyway, I was going to build some Warhammer 40,000, but to be honest with you, the lighting in here isn't that great. I don't think I really want to build something 28mm in this light. I think I'd rather wait for some more natural light. So do it during the day. I know. There's a lot of music from today that I love, as well as I couldn't give two hoots about, to be honest with you. But there's so many good bands out there that you know are worth listening to. I can't name any off the top of my head, unfortunately, but not quite sure what that means, but thank you. I'll be honest, but oh, I see what you mean. Yes, yeah. No, I'm very open-minded, very sort of open to different ideas and thoughts and things like that. You know, yeah, it is. What you see is what you get with me. You don't get any pretenses. No, I'm not one of those sort of big influencers, or you know, the only time I put on a character is when I'm doing my characters. You know, this is me. This is genuinely me. Why be anyone else? You know, I mean, I see all these big name YouTubers talking to camera and you know, and I kind of think, but is that really you? I mean, what are you really like behind the scenes? What, you know, a lot of them put an act on. Let's face it. A lot of these really big name YouTubers, they all put on acts. They all, as far as I'm aware, they all are who they're not. And that's because their audience has come to expect that of them. And it's no fault of their own. But me, I just want to give reality. I just want to give exactly, and I don't want that. I want people, and they see that on Twitter, they see that on Instagram. I can't give an act. I have to have a script in front of me if I want to put on a voice or put on a character. I genuinely can't. I can't ad lib for a start. It's it's difficult. It is impossible for me to give. Why be anyone else? Be who you are. Be true to yourself, and that's the thing. I think. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I will get a bit philosophical at times. Thank you very much, Luminous. I really do appreciate that. And I do get a bit philosophical at times. And in all honesty, I think society in general has come to a point where it expects people to be a certain way, to react in a certain way, to act in a certain way, and I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I mean, I think it's because I don't have like PR or I don't have public relations officers or management or anything like that. So I'm free to be me. I'm free to be myself, and I'm not denying anyone else. I have a lot of friends who are themselves online. It's just that sometimes you look at some situations and you think, I don't want that. I honestly just want to be someone who shares with others what they love doing, what I appreciate doing, what I want. The world is a hard place as it is. Don't add to the complexity, don't add to the confusion, the chaos. It's all right to take a step back. It's all right to go against the grain. It's all right to be yourself. You don't have to conform to everything. I believe that. And you just... You've just got to sort of find yourself. You know who you are before you know anyone else. Because there's only one you on this planet. There's only... You are your own best friend at the end of the day, because you are the only one that really knows you. I don't know you, I don't know, I have... Exactly, you receive what you give out in society, and I want to be there for people. That's the thing. I want to be there with sort of with those who want to listen and share and just need a listening ear, really. That's me in general. This is, we are talking 40 years of life here. Granted, when you're a kid you don't really understand the world around you, and when you reach your teenage years the world is even more chaotic and confusing. In your 20s you don't really know what direction your life's going to take. And then when you hit your 30s, which I've just left, you kind of think, well, my life didn't go that way. But now I'm looking at it looking in another direction, thinking, well, sure, it didn't go the way I planned, but I'm still here. I've got a roof over my head, I've got, I've still got my whole life ahead of me, and I'm grateful for what I have. And I think there's every person has a point when they sort of have that switch flick, and you sort of think, I've actually achieved more than I ever thought I did. And to be honest with you, I have. And that's what makes me so grateful. The fact that I have achieved more than I've ever thought myself to have done. It really does fall into perspective that a lot more has been done than it is, and my gratitude is, sorry, I'm going to have another drink. I'm getting a little bit parched. I honestly do wish that Britain had its own version of Thanksgiving. Sorry, that was the cola bottle. I kind of wish that Britain did have its own version of Thanksgiving, because I have so much gratitude I want to give. I would, maybe when Thanksgiving comes around in November, or for whichever country has a Thanksgiving, when and where, I could do a Thanksgiving video, to be honest. I could do one. I could do a live stream, because there's so much I've got to be thankful for. There is so much that I'm grateful for and thankful for. And so much I really want to say, I mean, I know I keep going around in circles, repeating everything that I say, but it's difficult to try and put into words some of your feelings, people find it so easy to put into words hate and fear and aggression and anger. And yet everything I want to say feels like a challenge to say it. Not because it scares me, not because it frightens me or anything. It doesn't. It's just hard to put into words because they're far more eloquent, deeper, emotional states of mind that embedded beyond, the quick emotions, anger, hate, fear, aggression, that sort of thing. I call them the quick emotions because they are boom, 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 here, gone, said, done. But see, Luminous, you're in the right place. I'm autistic. You're not alone. Childhood diagnosis. I was 8 years old when I was diagnosed autistic. So that's over 32 years ago now. And although I tend to refer to myself as neurodivergent, because I've got so many neurodivergent friends now, ADHD, autistic, you know, and other things as well. Too many to list, to be honest. But you know, it just, I've never really spoken about it openly I've spoken about it on Twitter, and I share things about it on Instagram, but I've never really spoken about being autistic on YouTube. Maybe I should do a video about that. You know, I'm old enough now that I've got enough life experience, that I can possibly talk about it. You know, I'm not an expert, yet I'm the one that lives with being autistic. But there we go. You know, such is life. Two creates a third. Anyway, but there are things I'd like to achieve. Oh, I like that. It is pretty much the DLC that keeps updating. Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. Sometimes I do visualise life being a video game, and we're living it on the impossible setting, you know. But somehow every time we try to go back to the menu, we can't find the easy mode. That's how I look at it, anyway. And yeah, I like that. And every so many, yeah. But you know, there's things. But you'll see sort of elements of it creep into my storytelling, actually, because my imagination is very, very. It's one of the few things I can adapt to my imagination. I mean, everyone knows when I'm having a meltdown, especially online. But oh, I have, Trevor. I really have. I honestly have learnt to. You live with it your entire life, but to a degree, I've built up a support network. Exactly, Luminous. Exactly. That's the thing. It's important that, and it's what builds my world, because I take my mind works differently. I mean, everyone's mind works differently. You know, we all have. If we all had the same mind, we'd be a collective. We would be a collective, and that's the end of it. We'd be a hive mind, which we're not, thankfully. But the thing is, genuinely, you know, it's what's shaped. I mean, granted, yes, I have what I refer to as hyper fixations. You know, some would say obsessions. Indeed, it is. Some might say that I do have obsessions, or I like to think of them as hyperfixations. You sort of become fixated on one thing, and there are people out there who know me that I have become hyperfixated on one thing more than others, shall we say. to the point that, you know, I had an idea, and I became hyper fixated by that idea. And to be honest, I don't really make any apologies for it, because all in all, the concept was a good idea. Just wasn't executed in the right way. Could have been executed better, but I'm getting over that now. You know, stage of recovery, as they call it. Such is life. Such is life. Ooh, oh dear. Ooh, ah. Just readjusting myself in my chair. It's sitting at a very awkward angle, and it was hurting my back, so I've just readjusted myself. How have we been going? Ooh, over an hour and a half. We're doing good tonight. Sometimes my lives don't even last this long, so we are doing... Oh dear. Sorry, I'm playing with a ball of blue tack now. Sort of blue putty. Oh, thank you today. Is that, you know, that... Excuse me. Well, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just me. As I said earlier, I can't be anyone else. I don't want to be anyone else. I am who I am, and I'm not going to change. I am not going to change for anybody. There was someone back in my past who tried to make me change, but they failed. They tried to make me like them, and they failed. Because I know my truth. I know who I am. And no one can take that away from me. You know, what you see is what you get. I will be honest. And I've never hidden anything from anyone. I've always been open and honest about everything that I've ever said, or you know, always upfront, always true to myself. You know, I don't hide anything, because why you know, why give people shocks and surprises when you can just be you and let them decide for themselves if they want to know you or they want to work or collaborate with you. You know, that's the whole point of being sort of honest and open and truthful. Don't hide anything, or unless it's something you don't feel ready to say, or there are things I've never really spoken about. There's more that I've actually spoken about through typing than verbally, because to say some of the things I've shared verbally is still hard. But what people know of me through social media, they know of me. There's nothing. I'm gonna lower the volume a bit. This one's still a bit loud. There we go. This pause is brought to you by something or other. My brain is locked for a moment. You're always welcome back, Luminous. I'm going to try and live stream more often, so you're more than welcome to join. Please do keep an eye out on my channel for announcements. If you're on social media, you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, Ondarian Citizen. So it's the same, it's the same. Well, if you go to my profile, you'll find the links there, and you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm there, and I'd be more than happy to hear from you and see you there. So please, thank you for being here. I appreciate you very, very much. So you are more than welcome. I wish you all the very best. It is. So thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you as well. So thank you for being here. It really means a lot to hear from new people and hear what you have to say as well. These live streams are about you as much as they are about me. It's always nice to connect. So, please do join again. Thank you very much. I agree, Trevor. Sorry, I'm have a great day, night, afternoon, morning, whatever time of day it is where you are. Enjoy yourself. Have a great time. Bye for now. As I said, it's always lovely to connect with new people. It's always nice to know new people and make new friends and connections, and that's what it's all about for me. It's I've said in the past, I've never gone into this for fame and glory and things like that. We have created a fantastic community. I should also mention I'm on Discord, which is also my community. So if you're on Discord as well, there should be a link on my profile for that as well. So you are more than welcome on all my platforms. You are genuinely welcome. Oh, why didn't I think of that before? The Maximus Squad. Oh, I like that. I like that. Oh, I think that's what I'm going to call I think that's what I think we should call ourselves, the Maximus Squad. I like that a lot. I really do. That is fantastic. Therefore, I think thanks to Luminous, and I shall obviously every time I mention the Maximus Squad, I shall mention Luminous, because I think that is. I'm going to write that down. Luminous mentioned the Maximus Squad. There we go. Let's save that to my computer. There we go. I've made a note of that because I like that. If everyone else agrees, I think we're going to call ourselves the Maximus Squad. I genuinely like that. So let's live life to that max. Yeah, I'll probably have to go to bed soon because I've got an early start in the morning, so I'm probably going to wrap this up. I mean, we've been going 1 hour and 45 minutes. So, as I say, I've got to be up early, so thank you everyone for joining. The next live will go on a lot more. But as I say, I'm going to leave this here at 1 hour 45 minutes, and I will thank each and every one of you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Luminous, for the suggestion of the Maximus squad. Have a great morning, day, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. I wish you well and all the best. Live life to the max. My new motto from now on to end all these live streams. Good night, Maximus squad.